Jessica.
I'm Chris.
And we are going to call ourselves the Birdie Stitchers. Why we're going to call ourselves the Birdie Stitchers is...
I love taking pictures of birds, and I love birds.
And I love crows. And other birds too. We did make a modified tag list. So that was the first two questions done and over with. So the third question, where are you from? We are from a small town in southern Wisconsin. What inspired you to start Flosstube? I think mainly because we keep talking about it. And I previously had a Flosstube channel called Sportystitcher. But it's one of those things that I left it be for 2 years. And one of those things, how do you start back up again? Do you just apologize or you just make a new channel? And she recently cut the cord on her internet or her dish. And as a previous, I'll never watch Flosstube. I don't like Flosstube. You've become addicted to Flosstube.
Yes, I have. It's interesting.
So now she wants a channel too. So we combined both forces and we are now the Birdie Stitchers. What do you love about the Flosstube community? I think I love the most about the Flosstube community is how inclusive it is and how everybody is welcome and everything.
Yeah, it seems like everybody knows, or it's very friendly, and they sure do like to stitch, and it gives me inspiration to stitch more.
And most of my Christmas presents this year actually came from her watching Flosstube.
Yeah.
What do you think your channel will bring to the community? I think one thing you're going to definitely see through our WIP parade and our WIPGO parade is that we are going to represent, like, I know this is going to sound odd, but the more, everyday life stitchers. We may not stitch every day, and I guess to be honest, some of her stitching is not, well, I don't mean it like that, but...
No, go ahead and say. It's not the best.
But you loved what you do and you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So 3 things we should know about you. Well, my 3 things, I'm a geocacher. I guess I already said that I love crows. I guess I should have thought about the 3 things.
Yeah.
Geocacher, okay. One thing we should know about you is I'm a geocacher. Okay, what about the one thing we should know about you?
I love taking photos of just about anything. I've got 2 cats, and one will probably be up on my lap in just a minute. And
so you can see you had one more than me, so that's good.
Yeah.
How did you start stitching and when?
Goodness, I started back in the mid-90s. I took a class on how to do it, and I was hooked ever since.
And whenever I meet anybody new, I do like to point out that she obviously is the one who taught me. And one of the things that she always did when I was a young toddler is she created these cardboard stitching things. So she would make like an apple, and there was a boat and a bear with just cardboard and hole punch and needle and yarn. And she would give me my stitching while she did her own stitching, and that's how I learned to stitch. And I created my first stitching when I was 6 years old and entered it in the fair. Then like any kid, went off and on. More, I'll help you with projects. There's actually a project within my WIPGO thing that amazed us because we found it in the closet, and it's one of those that I helped her stitch, and obviously since it's in the WIPGO, it's still not done, and it started in the mid-90s. But she stitched the most of it, but yet I would help here and there with stitching. And then I did get back into it in college. So I guess before we start in with our WIPGO parade and WIPGO plans for the year, we're going to show a couple just recent finished items and a couple previous finishes because they're here and something to show you other than works in progress. So do you want to go first?
Sure. I made a couple Christmas presents for my girlfriends. This is one of them.
It is Friends by His Knit. You did a little modification on the chart. What did you do?
Oh, I put the second one was supposed to be a thing for friends, and I put a coffee cup because her and I love our coffee.
So that is Friends by His Knit.
And then I made this one. It was just a kit that was done up, and that's for my other girlfriend. And both of my friends have been high school girlfriends for over 40 years.
So that's the front, and then we did this on the back. Not the best, but we're not the best stitchers.
And it's our first pillow form that we did, so I think it's pretty good.
Yep, they'll both love it.
Yes. And that's my two finishes.
My two finishes I pulled off the wall since I'm over here at my mom's house. I live very, very far away. I live straight across the driveway that way. About, 30 feet?
Yeah.
If that. The first one I'm going to be showing you is one of the first big projects that I completed myself while in college. And it is a magazine chart from one of the British magazines, and I stitched it for her for Christmas. And that is that. This also shows, how not only my stitching has improved, but also how my framing has improved because it's little bowy, and I should take it out, but I cut pretty much right to the edge, so it's not going to have any room. But the other finish that I pulled off the wall that I did frame myself looks pretty professional if I don't say so myself. I did pin it and even put paper on the back. And this is a special, I started this not last year's Stitch Mania, obviously, but the Stitch Mania of 19. This has very special meaning to us. I stitched it for my dad, and I was going to stitch it for Christmas, and this is probably one of the reasons that my Flosstube channel took a break and other things. I started this in May, and right before I started it, we found out he wasn't going to make it for Christmas. And I was stitching it really, really fast to give it to him before he passed away, but he passed away before I could give it to him. One of the things that I was going to do with this was, he was a big oldies fan. So he would always, one of his favorite songs, and actually we had it playing at his funeral, was Turn, Turn, Turn by the Byrds. And he would always proudly say that he knew that because it was Ecclesiastes, the Ecclesiastes song. So he always loved this Bible quote because he would always add into it, turn, turn, turn. So I was trying to add in turn, turn, turn in the purple, but it never looked right. So I just framed it like this. But it sits, we placed it on the wall above where his chair went. because he was a creature of habit and never wanted to move his recliner. So those are our two finished things that we can show. Okay, now that's going to go into a long, drawn-out whip parade, because that's the time of year for everybody to see whip parade. So we are both joining WIPGO. You can put your list over here if you want. The main idea for us for WIPGO is mainly to actually stitch on the things that we have, because I noticed, even though I put I got a big planner for Christmas, I noticed there were a lot of things that I did work on, but there were also a lot of things that I haven't put a single stitch in for a long time. And that's really, really true for you.
Oh, it's very true.
So our main goal of WIPGO is not a year-long goal, but just a monthly goal to actually pull it out, work on it, and see some progress on a project. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. My first one, for the first square, should have prepped most of them. I started this. This is one of my oldest projects, other than the one that we started in the 90s. This is Joan Elliott's Santa's Sleigh. And it is from a 365 Cross Stitch Designs magazine. And I am currently right here. I actually finished Santa over throughout December with the cross stitch challenge from the monthly magazine group. So there's a lot of fiddly color changes, and it is taking a long time. So that is my number one square. What is your number one square?
My number one square is Spring Feeder by Crosswind Collection. And this is what it looks like. And this is what I've gotten done so far.
Do we need the board, do you think?
I don't think so. It looks pretty good. So that's what I'm going to be working on one time when they pull the numbers. That's going to be a 10-day workathon.
We actually found 3 seasons of these at a thrift store. We have a very unique way of finding most of our patterns. If you ever watched my previous channel, you know that we have the Salvation Army thrift sale, which we both love, and we camp out, almost camp out. And we had a Stitchy Angel that we like to call, we call our Stitchy Angel is from Kim, and we ended up going to her estate sale and picking up everything, almost everything that she owned. There was a resale poacher that was picking up things that she obviously didn't know about, because she would pick out the things that she knew was costing more, but she would also pick up things that she had absolutely no clue on.
It was amazing.
So we have a lot of things from her, because we actually were able to, when we explained who we were and what we did, because we also run a local stitching group. The mother actually gave us all of her stash. So
we have a terrain, and the whole back end was full. We couldn't get anything else in, or else I wouldn't have been able to get home.
But we did, one of the stipulations were we could keep as much as we wanted, and we did obviously keep a lot, but not. But the majority of it all went to local stitchers, and I did take it up to the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat. And the main goal was, from her mother, was to give it to people who would actually stitch it, enjoy it, and love it. So,
And we do.
yep, and hopefully everybody who else has received some does as well. So, on to the next. This is an old chart called Glory to God. And it is from I think that has a date. 1993 issue of Cross Stitch and Christmas from Better Homes and Gardens, I think. But it is Glory to God. It is one of those magazine charts that you would look through an old magazine and every single time I'd go, oh my gosh, that is just beautiful. So finally I just got it out and started it. I believe this was a Mania start for last year. And this is how far I got. Not very far, but work is work on it.
My next one is one of Kim's patterns that we got from her place, and it's called Vinny the Vampire.
By Lizzie Kate.
And that's as far as I've gotten so far.
I guess we should put it the right way.
Yeah. That's part of his tuxedo.
Oh, I even had it the wrong way. There we go.
So that's another one that I'd be working on.
Okay, my number 3 is another Mania start from last year. And it is Joan Elliott's Spring Has Sprung. It is from a magazine, again. Cross Stitch Crazy. We can put them back in the bags later if you want. Okay. And it is this pattern right here. And my progress so far was just the 2 days in Mania. And it is the bunny and a couple flowers. And obviously my goal for this is to finish it because it won't take too long. Because this was just 2 days of work.
My next one is a Halloween one that I just picked up to do. I thought it was kind of cute.
Spooky cat, but we call it cat tart.
And this is what how far I've gotten so far.
Ooh.
Yeah. Once I get going, I don't think it's going to take me very long at all to get it done.
No, just the fact that you gotta do it.
Yep.
So the next one that I have is one that I need to get working on because I have all the other 3 seasons done. But it is Spring from Little House or Country Cottage Needlework. And I probably would have had more done on it, but I spilled coffee on it. And I still haven't washed off the coffee. So part of the reason why I probably stopped working on it is I don't know if it's washing off the coffee on this blue blue linen is going to cause it to lose some of the color. But if it does, then it will look more like a sky. But I just have to clean off the coffee.
This is another one we got from Kim's stash. And it's a Cherished Dreams.
From Paula Vaughn.
And she did most of it, and I've tried working on.
Well, you have worked on it.
I've worked on it, so.
You've done most of this white stuff right in here, right?
Yeah.
So most of this white on white, which you can't really see. Okay, my next one is a biggin. This is the ABC tapestry from Rosewood Manor, and I am going to complete it just how it is there. This is a big one that I got at the first Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. I ended up losing my spot when my dad's health took a downturn because we didn't know what was going on. So I ended up losing my spot, unfortunately, but it's loosened up. But I have completed the first block, and I have the second block all ready to go. I just actually need to stitch on it. But that next block will obviously be A. And I am stitching it all in a Wildflowers by Caron called Ruby. Oh, that really
wow,
that
that's
picks
pretty.
up that picks up the color actually. Wow.
Okay, this one's got quite a story. I started this at the retreat that we go up to in La Crosse. Well, we were working on it, or I was working on it, and there was a fire alarm, and we didn't think anything of it. So we went outside. Well, needless to say, it was a pretty bad. The ceiling collapsed, and all that, it collapsed on that, and it was totally white when we were able to retrieve it. So we thought, oh, what are we going to do? So we took it outside and we washed it off real gently with a scrubby. And it all came off, but I don't have the actual pattern or the front of it so you could see it. But it's a Santa Claus bending over baby Jesus when he's in the manger.
And obviously we'll be entering pictures for both what the pattern looks like and what the pattern looks like when we got it back. And I have another one too that I guess I could discuss at a future date of an actual finish from the retreat, and also one that I am also working on that I thought I wasn't going to work on again. My next one for number 7, because we're going to go over number 6 and number 18 at the end, because obviously those were the ones that were called, is the Jan Lynn Spring Sampler. Everyone knows these, and they're a lot of work. I do actually work on this every spring when it calls to me. So it's not like I never touch this at all. And last year I actually finished the first page, and with all of the back stitching. Because that's how my plan is going on these, is to stitch pretty much it's broken up into 4 large charts, and then stitch all the cross stitching that I can, and then back stitch. So hopefully I can get the majority of the second page stitch.
Hopefully. I'm working on, this is a work in progress.
Well, they all are.
And I've been working on this one, and it's going to be for my sister whenever I get it done.
Yeah, a lot of her stitching ends up being gift stitching.
Yeah. People ask me, well, what do you have that you stitched? And I says, nothing really. I've given it all away. And this is how far I've gotten. I'm just having such a struggle with the watering can. I don't know why, but I'm almost there. I think once I get that done, it'll go a lot faster.
Then you'll get to start in on some of the birds on that
Yep.
page. Actually, the next one is actually my fire story, and you can actually see some This is the worn copy and water damaged copy of the cover photo of the Nativity Table Runner by Blackberry Lane Designs. And again, this is the one that I work on a lot during the season. And this is how far I've gotten. It's actually rolled up more on this side. But you can actually see, right in here, right, these spots here were rust stains from the stretcher bars that I was using at the time. And this color right in here is wood varnish from the stretcher bars. And then also here you can tell that the linen overstretched when the stretcher bars swelled. So I did end up finishing the bell pull that I was working on at the retreat also, and was explaining to my old home ec teacher about that project and about this project here, and she's offered to help me figure out a way to finish it that we won't, that we can make sure the linen didn't warp too much, and also to figure out what to do with the rust and varnish stains. So I just have to get it done before she passes away.
Yeah. My next project is Plant a Little Sunshine. I belong to a garden club, and I thought for a little gift, because we, if we have a program, we take a gift, and I thought that would be cute. And then it comes with this pillow.
Well, that is cute. And the pillow has gardening things on it. Okay, my next project is actually 2 pieces of a unicorn chart. It is a small deer by Desson's DHC, and also eventually, after I get the first one stitched, it will be Deer Among the Woods by Desson's DHC. Deer Among the Woods is the first one that I fell in love with, and I saw this at the first ever lacrosse treat we went to. Somebody was stitching it on a beautiful gray fabric with white floss, and that was before the time of all of the chalk stuff that's popular. But while trying to track this one down, I found this one also, which is a small deer. So my idea eventually is to do this one twice and flip the image, and then frame them on either side of the big one. So I am doing these charts on pieces of 28 count Jobelan in chai tea with a Threadworks floss of 1040. And for some reason the camera is really picking up the colors here. And this is my 2-day last year mania start, which is the top of the tree. Very pretty. Can't wait to get back to it. Okay, what is your next number 9?
My next one, number 9, is going to be a finish, because the only thing I have to do is the back stitch. So I should be done with it pretty soon. And I will be very happy, because I'm not happy with my stitching in that one, but it'll do.
And then we'll need a very, very good bath.
Yes. It needs a very good bath.
And there's another one coming up that I wondered if you were still smoking at the time that you stitched that, because it's pretty dirty.
What can I say?
My next one will be also a finish for myself, because it's not very big. And this is from our friend Kim's stash. And I've fallen in love with these, and these have become my new unicorn charts because they're just so simple and fun to stitch up. And come to find out, this designer, Eventide Designs, did one of these for all 50 states. So if anybody has the Wisconsin one of the sampler, I would definitely love it. But I have been doing the seasons, and then they are a needle roll, or you can finish them as the flat one, and that's what I have been doing. I have found a nice green frame that matches the green frame in the picture exactly, and it's for all 4 seasons at a thrift store. And it's just on a yellow linen. So I just have a little bit of the fence and the top 2 to go. So it will easily be a finish because, again, this was only 2 days in Mania last year.
My next one is going to be...
The next one.
What?
You're at number 10. So,
Oh, this one?
yeah.
It's what I've been working on. They're a bunch of different little ornaments. And then it's like that. So they're going really fast. So I'm going to get a lot of them done. Oh, shoot.
Okay, my next one is a shepherd's bush kit of Land That I Love. And it is done on the called for burlap linen, which is a floss eater. I struggled with it, and sort of part of me just wanted to finish it like that because it used up all of the blue floss that was provided in the shepherd's bush kit. But I will press on and put the house in on the bottom. And that is a goal for a finish as well.
Okay, my next one. Which one is it?
Santa scissor file.
Oh.
Oh, yours is shepherd's bush too.
Yeah. Oh. I'm doing... Guess I should have taken it out. Shepherd...
Wow.
Oh, I guess I really need to start working on it.
So
Thought I started it, and I
go.
guess I haven't.
okay, my number 12 is a pattern that we have been graciously given from one of our local stitchers in our stitch group. We're gonna do them and then pass them on to the next stitcher because all of us fell in love with them. But it is Bucilla's animal ornaments. So my goal is to do all of them. And currently I am working on the Jersey cow. I doubt that you're going to be able to see it because it's a lot of tone on tone, but there she is. And I like tiny ornaments, so I'm doing this on 22 count Hardanger. And my goal for that is to start and finish one ornament.
My next one is a dimensions kit.
Embroidery kit.
Embroidery.
And this one came from one of the Salvation Army craft sales, and she got it for a whopping 50 cents.
And this is what it's looking like so far. It's kind of fun to do. I like embroidery also, so it's been pretty interesting to do it.
Okay. Oh, you needed to add in your voice? My next one is another Spring Has Sprung. I had a Joan Elliott one, and this one is the Sweetheart Tree. And again, this one was from Stitch Mania last year. I did have a little bit more work on it because I did take it to work for a while. And it goes this way. So it should, the other one from the Sweetheart Tree that I have stitched up real fast. It's just, again, working on it. So what is your next one?
My next one is a crewel.
So another embroidery.
Another embroidery.
Oh, Snickers made his appearance. Oh.
It's of a hummingbird. Oops, maybe. And of course, I love the hummingbirds. And this is how, so far, how it's looking.
What? My next one, again a good one for us Birdie Stitchers, is the bottom portion of his knit of the Joy Bird. I've already done the Boo Bird. And there is my little Stitch Mania start of 2 days work. Again, if you just work on them, they'll be finished within a couple days.
But it seems like gave finish. This is one of Kim's. It's a, I think, shepherd's bush.
Yep.
The stocking. And she's got quite a bit of it done. So I'm going to hopefully finish it. Well, I am going to finish it, but
At least work on it.
work on it.
I have another bird coming up, and this one is a crow. I have a couple crows coming up. The first one is a very cute one called the So Happy Crow. Look at him with his little thimble hat. And currently I have a strawberry and half a tomato.
And my next one is
Another stocking.
another stocking from Kim's stash, Thomas Kincaid. And that's what that's gonna look like. I think it's gonna be very pretty.
So what do you have to stitch on it? Just the metallics to make it glisten, or?
I think so. I don't know. I haven't really checked. I just picked it out from the stash.
Okay, we're up to 17. Again is another crow pattern and another Stitch Mania from last year. This is Crow Welcome, which is this welcome here from Welcomes Aplenty from Homespun Elegance. So of course I'm doing the crow. And all I whoppingly have done on this is a C. So my goal on this is 10 days and to hopefully finish all of the letters.
This is another one I got at the Salvation Army sale for a whopping 50 cents. It's some Santa Clauses and snowmen, and that's what I'm going to be starting soon. I don't have the material picked out yet.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's actually
Oh,
started.
it is. Oh, I didn't even.
We haven't even opened it.
Oh,
It's on
here.
perforated plastic.
Here.
Oh, that's all right. We'll
Alright.
show it when it gets called. So this is a definite one for the true meaning of WIPGO. This has been sitting in my stash, or in my stuff for a very long time. It is a magazine chart with the 4 seasons, and I am going to do each one individually and make them into a small flat fold. And currently I am on the summer one, again, of making starts. You start it, you get to a place where it says, oh, that's not too bad of stitching, and then you stop. So hopefully that will be a finish this summer, or whenever it's called, or at least worked on.
Well, here's another one of my projects that I started a long time ago and put it away, and I'm going to get it back out and finish it. It's part of the footprints. It's just a small sample, a small one, but it's pretty. I like the saying.
And another one that needs a bath. Okay, and then comes number 8. Oh wait, we skipped 18, that's right. Duh.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah, this next one is Fall Fields by the Prairie Schooler. I don't know, I think I started this last fall. And I have the fox and part of the bunny done. And I have a pretty basket that I found at a Goodwill that looks like wheat that I would like to fill with these as pillows. So it'd be fun to see how many I can get done or stitched on in 10 days.
okay, beer boy. Oh, and you can tell when you see this how old this pattern is. I have had it for ages. It's a bear bow.
That is the true meaning of WIPGO, is to get it done and let it go.
And that's how far I've gotten. But I will eventually get it done.
And it will go very nice in your collectible bear room. Wonder what the plastic canvas is there.
I don't know.
Maybe it's something that I did that's probably about the time I was doing a lot of plastic canvas stuff. So it's probably something from me. My next one I think will be a finish within 2021. Because it does stitch up very quickly and it is very fun to stitch. It is from the January 2019 issue of Cross Stitcher magazine, and it is Santa and his reindeer. And it is, the full chart is called Sleigh Bells Ring by Maria Diaz. And I have Santa and Blitzen done. And that was part of my December acrostic challenge for the monthly magazine group. Was to finish Santa and 1 reindeer, and I did.
Okay, I have quite a few of these. They're from Kim's Stash, and it's Lizzie Kate, and it's a bunny, and I've got about 3 more lady bunnies and 2 men bunnies, and I want to get them all done and do them up like that.
My next one is another magazine chart from the April 2018 issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and it is the Spring Wren Wreath. And there is the little birdie that I have done. Again, that's only 2 days project of progress.
And my next one is a Lizzie Kate, and it's the Pilgrims.
Or insert a picture.
And I haven't started them yet. And there's some material for them.
I actually kitted this up for her for Christmas.
And then I've got...
So this is a 14 count Ada in moss.
Because I'm one of those that can't really do little
Well, you can.
count.
You can.
I probably could. I just haven't really given it a try. And then these are
That one we do need to more.
all the colors
Make it easy.
that go with it. I think it's going to be very pretty.
There was her Christmas present. As we awkwardly hold it up. Then also you have a little project bag that was her Christmas present.
Yep. And this was my project bag.
Oh, another cut of fabric in there.
Yeah, that's for the boy pillow.
No, I'll toss it in there. That's the thing about making Flosstube videos is you make a mess.
Yeah.
My next one is another Prairie Schooler. I started this at some point of the pandemic because I thought optimistically by June or by stitching June that the world would be back to normal in June of 2020, but we all know that it didn't. So I started June. And I got the bottom border done. And then I was faced with the realization that I needed to start the grass next and put it away.
Yeah.
So I will be stitching a lot of grass and house.
Oh, excuse me.
Excuse you.
My next one is going to be another embroidery one, and it's of two chickadees. That'll be fun to do. Then, and again, that's from the Salvation Army, and I paid 50 cents for it.
Okay, here's the one that I was mentioning earlier of one that I would help stitch with, and we don't have a cover page because it's
So old.
so old, but here is the pattern that's holding on by tethered threads, or tethered paper fibers, I guess. But we, again, since we don't know what it's actually called, we're calling it Animals in the Star. But I know that when I would help out that I would, she left me all of the fill-in in the deer to do. So that'll be fun to, maybe when even though I have it on my WIPGO board, maybe we should leave the last two stitches and then I do one stitch and you do the other stitch.
There we go. My next item is not very big, but it's a crossed-wind collection. I've gotten quite a few of crossed-wind collections because I just love the birds. This is the one with the baby robin.
And it's a retired pattern, so it's kind of hard to find, but it was, I think it was released for the millennium, I think, wasn't
I think so.
it? So for 2000.
And
There's her whopping.
there's my whopping start. Now, get going on it, and it shouldn't take me too long to get it done.
Okay, our last square before the two that we have to work on this month. This is another one that is a true WIPGO, and it is, I'll have to show it from the back. It's another one that I want to do pillows for, and it is from one of the magazine. It looks like Cross Stitch Crazy, but it's one of those little section ones where they get a whole bunch of designs. And it's all a whole bunch of spring baby animals. So I would like to do these for a spring basket. And currently I have one done, and it is a little robin. So another robin for me with some hair on it and dirt. I think this came through the fire, didn't it?
I think so. I can't remember.
Well, obviously from the paper, I think it did.
Yeah, it did. And my
what is your last one?
my last one is Garden Ganders.
Giggles.
It's a whole bunch of different gardening things and sayings. I'm not going to do the whole book, but I'll do a few of them.
Then you'll do that for your garden club or just for yourself?
Both.
Probably knowing you, you'll do it for a garden club and give it away.
Probably.
Okay, that leads us into this month's projects. Sorry. My number 6 is my version, or my entry into the Crosswing collection, and it is the Biscornu nest. And I have finished the scissor fob portions. So I just need to start the nest. I haven't seen it in a while.
No. Oh, wow. That's pretty.
And it's one of my favorite birds, the chipping sparrows. They're one of the tiniest birds in the yard, but they can make the loudest songs. And they have such a unique sound. So maybe I can find it, depending on editing, maybe I can find a clip and put it in right now.
Okay, here's another one I had up at the retreat, and I've lost the pattern, but we found,
No,
or what was it?
I think this wasn't at the retreat. I think it's just dirty.
Just-
It's dirty.
No, I had this at the retreat.
Oh, okay. We call it Feed the Birds.
And that's,
Oh yeah,
much?
because I think you were
I was working on it when it,
at some point during the retreat.
yeah. It's a fun one to do.
That black one, a lot of black fill in though on that's gonna
Yeah.
be tedious. And my number 18, again I should have been prepared, is one of Joan Elliott's Medieval Maidens. I have already, since I have it in the bag, I have already completed this lady with the reading. And I am currently working on the musician. And this is from the Treasured Joan Elliott Collection magazine. I have ripped them all out of the magazine and put them in a big binder. So I have all of the patterns, and that's currently what I have. I'd like to hopefully by the end of this year get all of the red in her skirt done.
And again, you can see the age of my progressing.
Which way does it go? Oh, this way, because it looks like
It's a
Season of Light.
season of the light. It's been quite a few years since I've worked on it, but I'll get back at it.
And hopefully let it go.
Yep.
So our overall goal for our Flosstube channel is to obviously keep up with it,
Yes.
unlike my Sporty Stitcher one. So our goal is to come back on the weekend, either the first weekend of the month, and there's Snickers, the first weekend of the month or the
Last.
the last weekend when the numbers are pulled, and then just show you our progress of the month and show you what has been pulled for the next month and what other stuff we worked on throughout the month too. Also, I don't know if we mentioned it because we had to make a couple clips for storage issues. All of her pictures are at the beginning and end of our videos. So we will see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.